This is the plaintiff, Bresci Johnson. She says she moved out of the roach-infested apartment she rented from the defendant. Had to throw all her furniture away because of those disgusting critters. And the defendant owes her big time. That's right. She's here suing for the $750 she's owed and expects to get it all awarded to her today from the Honorable Judge Millon. This is the defendant, Melissa Ceballos. She says the plaintiff up and moved out without the required 30 days notice, right in the middle of her trying to celebrate her son's birthday. This woman has no leg to stand on. There's no reason she should be suing her, and her story about there being roaches in the apartment, a big bunch of hooey. She's accused of ticking off a tenant.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case of the docket. The plaintiff moved out of the defendant's apartment. She says it was roach-infested, but the defendant says the roach story is BS. It's the case of a cockroach and bull story.
Thank you, Douglas.
welcome,
Is it Bresci?
Bresci, yes.
Bresci Johnson, you are suing Melissa Ceballos for $750 of a security deposit that you say you paid and has not been returned to you. How long were you living there?
I lived there for a year and 1 month.
Okay. And what happened here?
I moved in on September 20th, 2014. I actually found an ad on Craigslist, and when I moved in, Melissa explained to me and my ex that the rent was $750 a month, and she said I would need first month and last month to move in.
Okay. Is there a lease in this case?
Well, there was, but it expired, so
Can I see it?
I don't have it with me.
Why not?
Do
Do you have the lease?
I actually do not have the lease.
All right. So the lease is, you live through the lease, and then it's month to month after that because you stay after that, correct?
Correct.
All right. And it's $750, and then what happens?
All right, and October 20th, I actually gathered my stuff.
You
and I
would pay
moved
your
out.
rent when?
The 20th.
Okay. And so on October 20th, what happened?
Yes. I packed my stuff and I actually moved out.
Did you tell her you were going to move out?
I told her that day.
Why would you tell her the same day? It's so rude.
Because the week before the electricity was out, it was very inconvenient for me. I told her that the accident was going on with the lights, and she said
That what was going on?
the electricity was off.
Okay. Did she live there too or no?
Yes,
Okay. So were you renting a room?
yes.
Okay. So the electricity was off. Why?
Because over the summer, she would leave, and her girlfriend that was there would stay and leave the AC on, so it accumulated, and I could not pay the light bill.
Okay. Well, you got to provide light to a tenant. You can't. So the electricity went off.
Yes, and I text her and I asked her what's going on with the electricity. She said, "Is the electricity off?" I said, "Yes." She never responded. The next day I had
So how many days were the lights off?
At least 3 because
Well, then not just the lights, everything. Right?
Everything.
All the
Everything.
electricity
I
was
couldn't-
out for how many days?
about at least 3 because
And
that's
then
when
what
I
happened?
left. I went away, and when I came back, I was like, I just gotta go. I just needed to leave. And then I moved everything out. Then I had.
What does she say when you tell her you're moving out?
She said, "Okay, fine."
All right.
That's it. And she never mentioned anything about a 30 days notice before I left.
Okay.
So then I text her and I asked her for the deposit because I assumed the first month and the last month will be a deposit. And that's when she tells me she doesn't do deposits. It was first month and last month.
Okay.
I said, I paid you every month that I've been here.
Okay.
And then she says, okay, well, that's not how it works. That's a move-in fee.
Oh, first it was last month and then it's a moving fee?
Yes.
All right, what's going on? Tell me why you won't pay her back the $750.
Well, first of all, it was a move-in fee. On the post that I made on Craigslist, it said clearly it's a move-in fee.
Okay, can I see that?
That's expired.
Okay.
After a certain time.
So you have a post to prove your case, but you don't because it's expired. You have a lease to prove your case, but you don't because you didn't bring it. What else do you have to prove your defense? Because she has the burden of proving her case, which is I paid $750 extra, I want them back. So if you're going to say that $750 is a move-in fee and not a deposit, or a move-in fee and not last month's rent, then you need to prove that there is a move-in fee of 1 month's rent for that room. I need to see it in black and white. Can you show it to me?
No, I cannot at this time.
So what'd you tell her?
Well, at that point in time, I figured she was just going to gather her stuff and leave, and that would be it.
Were you mad that she was leaving without notice?
Absolutely. She left me with the burden. First of all, the room was a hot mess. There were holes in the wall. I had to have somebody come and plaster up the wall. I had to have the room painted, so I could not rent the room out right away, so I had all of that.
Okay, let me see proof that the place was a hot mess.
How many roaches before you can move out, break the lease, and get your money back?
Too many?
How many?
6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know.
Really? 6, 7, 8, 9?
About 30.
30?
One.
There you go. Boom! Going inside the courtroom.
Let me see proof that you had somebody come in and plaster and had to pay for that person or whatever else.
Well, I don't have proof, but
What is this a picture of? It's hard to...
That's the wall.
Yeah,
As you
but
can
what is this here?
That's the bed.
Okay.
As you can see, somebody came in and plastered up the wall.
So this is after somebody plastered?
Yes, after somebody plastered.
Wow, there's nothing but a bed in this room.
Right.
But what was down there? That's not the typical area where you hang paintings. What were they plastering?
No, it's
was there
just
water damp? What was that?
I dropped my hammer
You dropped your hammer when?
when I was trying to get ready, prepare my bags for work.
So, but why is there plaster in a bunch of places?
I'm not sure. There was only one hole when I left.
Maybe they were just trying to fix whatever imperfections are there. All right, how would that entitle you to $750, my dear? You would really have to be able to hang your hat on the theory that that was, in fact, a move-in fee, which you can't prove because you have no evidence of that. Aside from that, let me just point out a few things. The lease expired, as you deftly noted. When the lease expires, now it's a month-to-month.
Right.
So once it's a month-to-month, you have a problem. In the city, okay, the 5 boroughs of New York City, a tenant does not have to give a landlord notice. A landlord has to give a tenant notice, but a tenant does not have to give a landlord notice. They could just up and leave. She's not required to give you notice. If you want her, well, let me just be, to be fair, if you want her to give you notice, then have a lease. If you have a lease and your lease says that she has to give you notice, she absolutely has to give you notice. But if you're working on a month-to-month, you are flying by the seat of your pants. Right. And she does not have to give you notice. So she doesn't have to give you notice. You can't keep it for that. You don't have proof that it's a move-in fee. You can't keep it for that. There was a hammer in the wall. You can keep $50. The other $700 goes to the plaintiff. Verdict to the plaintiff.
All right, so step on out here. You just didn't have the evidence to support the story you were trying to tell the judge.
Right. Unfortunately, I had to move myself. So in the process of moving, I didn't have the lease. I lost the lease. So I guess.
Lost the lease. What about a copy of that post on Craigslist?
Well, they expire. So
Well, you could have
there's
a
no way.
screenshot.
Yeah, I don't have a phone
Something.
that has screenshots. So.
Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's how you lose a case in court.
Right. Well, it's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah, so you do win your case, and what's your feeling coming out here?
I'm happy for justice.
Yeah, what were the conditions in the place there?
It was crazy. It was roaches everywhere. I had to throw out my furniture.
Really?
Yeah, I was woke up by roaches. I didn't need an alarm. The roaches, hello, good morning.
How did that work? How did they wake you up?
They wake me up. They're all over the place.
They're just swarming all over you?
Yeah, there's times I got locked out the apartment. I'm in the apartment. I couldn't open the front door. I had to use a knife, break out. I tell her she doesn't.
So you got a better living condition
yeah,
now?
Everything's better now.
All right. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, your security deposit is refundable unless there is either damage to the apartment or rent owed, period.